Star said, gratitude is one of the healthiest human emotions, and I really agree with him. And here's 7 reasons why you should be involving it in your day-to-day routine, particularly at the moment. 1. It makes your relationships better, and we all know that staying at home right now, our relationships possibly are a little bit more strained, either because we're away from people we love and care about, or because we can't get away from them. But either way, we need our relationships to be working well right now, and we need to be grateful for them. So science shows that if you show your appreciation and thanks to someone, you verbalize it or you write it in a small note, that you are perceived to be more socially kind, acceptable and amenable. People will be more likely to approach you, and the relationships you currently have also benefit and deepen. So a small thank you or noticing something your partner or your family member has done for you is really key to making sure your relationships right now flourish and blossom. 2. It is good for your physical health. There have been studies done on this, and in one particular study, patients who had severe chronic pain and milder chronic pain were asked to fill it in diaries. One was noticing negative effects throughout the day, and the other one was noticing all the good things that had happened to them throughout the day. And it turns out that the patients who had noted down the good things, the things they were grateful for, had a reduction in their pain by 16% versus start of that study. Now, it's not a randomized clinical trial and it wasn't huge, but that's really good evidence indicating that there could be actual physical changes in your perception of pain when you are grateful. It's going to help lower your blood pressure as well because of some of the psychological effects that can happen. Which leads me on to number 3. Psychologically, gratitude is incredible. It has been shown to induce dopamine and serotonin, which are your reward and happiness hormones in your brain. It's also been shown to fire neurons in what is called your bliss center in your brain, so your enjoyment center in your brain. And it also creates new neural pathways in your brain when you practice gratitude regularly. This means if you are prone to anxiety, depression, stress, if you are feeling overwhelmed right now and out of control of life, practicing gratitude will literally help your brain rewire. It will change the brain chemistry, and over long-term practice can change the actual pathways in your brain and how you remember and associate things. 4. Regular gratitude practice has been scientifically proven to boost your self-esteem. When we are grateful, when we practice gratitude, our internal language starts changing, and we're not only kinder to others outside of ourselves, but we are kinder to ourselves. And this is so important for your self-esteem. 5. People who regularly practice gratitude are shown to have better empathy for others, and it reduces your frustration, stress, and quickness to anger. It means that when we are in stressful situations, we find it easier to cope, and we are less likely to select anger as a response. 6, and here's a really important one, it is so important that we sleep well for our mental and our physical health, and doing gratitude practices, particularly just before we go to sleep, can induce a far deeper, longer and more restorative sleep for us. And finally, number 7. This is a really key one, particularly right now, and it really helps in times of crisis, stress and trauma. We can boost our mental strength or our resilience through gratitude practices. Gratitude helps you accept what you can't control, and that is so important right now. In addition, the longer-term psychological and physical effects can be huge. It can't take away pain from life because life has pain in it, but it will help you survive it better, learn from it better, and bounce back quicker. So if you want to find out how you can bring gratitude into your life, here are 3 levels of practices that you can do. Level 1, and this is the easy one, guys, so it's going to go up in difficulty. The quickest and fastest way that you can practice gratitude in your day-to-day is to write 3 things down at the end of each day before going to sleep. Still easy but slightly more time-consuming would be to do a full gratitude journal. How can you be grateful for the things that have happened to you today? Write that down in a longer journal. 3rd easy step is to appreciate others and actually verbalize it. So first part of that, super easy, is to actually acknowledge to yourself what others are doing for you, even if it's small. If somebody makes you a drink today, if somebody asks you how you are, acknowledge that. Say, I'm really grateful for that person thinking of me today. The next step is to say to that person, thank you, I really appreciate you checking in with me, or I really appreciate you making a drink. Just acknowledge it to them, just verbally. It's really easy. Now here's a challenge, here's the next step up, and I'd really like to invite you guys to do this. I've put this at level 2 because it doesn't involve other people, and I have done all of these practices myself, and I have to say, although I found this challenging, things in level 3 were much harder for me to do. So if you are somebody who suffers from self-confidence, has low self-esteem, please be brave and give it a go. Go stand in front of a mirror, clothed or not, and look at everything on yourself and say you are grateful for it. But do not allow criticism in. Do not allow harsh judgment in. Simply be grateful for what your body is giving you. It is something you are living in and you are connected to. If you hate it, you're taking away energy and power from yourself. Some of you will find this really hard, and I know I found it challenging in the beginning, but being grateful for what you do have in your physical form is so important to your self-esteem. Level 3, write a gratitude letter. This is a letter where you write out a letter giving thanks to somebody that you haven't seen in a long time, or maybe haven't appreciated fully, even if they are in your life day to day. Just writing that letter will boost your happiness and your mood for at least 3 months if you have really gone into depth of the positive emotions and the deep and meaningful thanks that you're giving to this other person. The next step up is to send it to them, or even better right now, read it to them down the phone. If you can do it on video call, this will be the highest impact. Now outside of isolation, if you can read it to their face, which takes a lot of strength and possibly a few tears, then it will boost your mood and your experience of gratitude and your kindness to yourself. It will change your brain chemistry for up to 6 months. It's not easy, but I have done this and it's so good for both you and for the recipient of the letter. It has meant so much to the other person, and it has been a life changer for them because it's something I should have thanked them for a long time ago. I hope this has helped. Go well and look after yourselves, and please live today